and this is working. This live stream Smackdown review. This is Jacob Cast 2024. Just want to make sure this is working so y'all can hear me. Alright, here we go. We still got it. We're going to talk about WWE Smackdown Friday the 13th. This is Jacob Cast 2024. We're going to talk about Friday Night Smackdown. The build to WrestleMania had begun. So we got Randy Orton. The Miz. That was 4 days ago. That was Dan Hudson Kirk, The Miz. We got Drew McIntyre open the show with Nick Aldis. He quit WWE only to come back and cause Jacob Fatu the massacre with Trick Williams. We got Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill versus Michin. Yeah, it was Jade Cargill versus Michin. I think that they put non-title. And then we got the tag team match with the MFTs and the YSC. I'm just over the feud. I'm just tired. I'm not even gonna review it because it's just the same old shit with these two. Uncle Howdy. They don't have Eric going on here, do they? No, they don't. Uncle Howdy. Alright. Alright, so the MFTs, they still lead with that lantern, even though they lost to the YSC, but they still got the lantern. So it's still like going to continue again. Now, we did get a segment with Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill. Rhea vowed to make Jade a little bit. Obviously, they're setting up their match. And they got to do more than that, you know. We also got Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss versus the irresistible force, Nia Jackson, Last Legend. We got Charlotte, and we got Last Legend for the tag team titles. Until the Bellator got involved and cost Charlotte and Alexa the tag team title. I think the match in a DQ. And the Bellator announced that they're next in line for the titles. We could be looking at a triple threat tag team match for the women's championships. Fantastic. Now we gotta see the Bellas at WrestleMania. Wow. And you know they're gonna be on WrestleMania because Charlotte's gonna be on WrestleMania. As well as Alexa. Now, we did get a backstage segment with the Motor City Machine Guns. They emerged between Crash emerged between them.
Struggling with your symptoms? It's not too.
Crash emerged between the Motor City Machine Guns, so they could be teasing a split. After Alex Shelley tried to help Johnny Gargano, Chris Sabin asked his partner if he is still committed to the Machine Guns. So we could be seeing a split there. I don't know why. Don't know why would they. We also had a weird segment with Jelly Roll and The Miz. Jelly Roll punted The Miz. I don't think I saw it. I might have skipped this. He was on Mid-TV. But they still had Mid-TV. I can't believe that. Jelly Roll and Kit Wilson jaw crack on Mid-TV. Jelly Roll inadvertently punted The Miz. What are we doing with Jelly Roll? Here we are at WrestleMania. Is he gonna match with something? I don't know. Anyway, we got Damian Priest versus. It was Damian Priest and R-Truth versus Lock Gaza. Alright. So that was a tag team match where I think Damian Priest and R-Truth got the win. Dan Hudson curses The Miz again.
What if every purchase was an investment?
Don't know why they're showing that. Tiffany Stratton beat Sebastian Katana James. Is Tiffany Stratton coming here at WrestleMania? What the hell is he doing? God damn it. Come on now. Come on now with this. I actually hate these goddamn commercials. Would you get out of here with that? Jeez. I actually hate when that happens, man. It gets on my nerves. The goddamn commercials, man. So we got Tiffany Stratton and Katana James. Okay. Alright. Now we did get Tiffany Stratton. She beat Katana James. I'll put her on here. Katana James in this match. And then we got Trick Williams versus Jacob Fatu, where Trick Williams got the victory thanks to Drew McIntyre. He caught Fatu the match. So that was it. And then the main event segment with the contract signing with Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. Okay. Now oh wait, hold on. Alright, so now let me show you some of the podcasters here. Randy Orton snapped and turns heel on Cody. So I guess Randy Orton is a full press heel. To make the storyline interesting. Man, Cody Rhodes got bloody again. This is 3 times now. Now, 2 years ago, it was The Rock who made him bloody going into WrestleMania. He beat him outside a tour bus. Then John Cena made him bloody when he turned heel in Toronto last year. And now Randy Orton had turned heel on Cody Rhodes, made him bloody. It's like a copy and paste. Cody Rhodes is always getting busted open. Now Cody Rhodes is looking like shit here, which I don't like. He gotta look strong. Well, Randy Orton is really a full-fledged heel. It makes things interesting, because I think 2 baby faces are just gonna be just fucking boring. That was the only thing that mattered on the show, really. That's the only thing I cared about. Now I can't wait for Monday Night Raw on Monday. Brock and Roman are in the house. AJ Lee and Bayley are gonna be wrestling. We'll see what can happen with Punk and Roman. We'll see if Owen Finley gonna finally answer Brock Lesnar's challenge. We got AJ Lee and Bayley for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Alright, let's go into some of the podcasters. My video is sponsored by PlayStation, sponsored by my favorite YouTubers, Fightful Pro Wrestling, JD from New York, Salamanca Soundoff.
Showed that Cody is a good person, good friends, you know, and I really like the fact that he got that line in about, listen, I know what I'm stepping in.
Going to Denise Salcedo.
Now, and it's way ahead of Punk and Roman. Punk
feel about that. That does not sound like, if you think people it's lit right now, forget about it. It would be
happen here, and I need to see what physicality looks like between Roman and Punk to really see, like, okay, how are these 2 edging out? I still think, listen, for me, my question wasn't really so much, will Randy and Cody main event? I think more so my question is, could it be considered by fans the one that should main event? Because yes. I think a lot of people had this preconceived notion that it's for sure, Roman Punk, Cody Randy, there's nothing that they can do to be the night 2 main event. I think the conversation has sparked.
Here's the thing, and this is what I'm a little worried about. I'm a little worried that once, like you said, that conversation has sparked, there are going to be people, like once you said, the physicality, it is ahead. That beatdown that Randy gave Cody today, dude, look, you know what? Okay, you know who my favorite person to watch bleed is in wrestling? It's Ric Flair. Because Ric Flair, with the white...
We got Joe Cronin.
Yeah, because all you are a bunch of fucking losers. They ain't got nothing else better to do with your fucking boring...
Alright, let's go on to the other one. The no DQ.
Was doing the t-shirt giveaway. People were enjoying that. And as far as Jelly Roll being involved in Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes, I don't think so. Seems like Jelly Roll's going to be busy with Kit Wilson and The Miz, but there is more to say about Jelly Roll, so stay tuned.
Wait, Jelly Roll is a 3-time Grammy Award winner.
Thank you again, Dave. I appreciate it. All right, next up we had Tiffany Stratton versus Kiana James, which was a fun...
Out the window. It was all just characters doing shit that was compelling. And I feel you definitely, that's what needs to happen.
Alright, let's go on the fight for.
But nobody is dancing in the top of the picture right now, and that is frustrating. We got a lot of chats about this, so I just wanted to say thank you all for that.
Is there anybody here that didn't like it?
That was the only thing that really mattered on the show with the ending. So I get Orton really a heel. Well, the way how of course he had to turn heel to make this interesting. I want to see two baby faces. That would just be just fucking boring. Alright, so that it. Alright, now let me go back to some of the podcasters here. Hold on. Alright.
I'm a big fan of a lot of things. I like to go to concerts. I like to do all of that. But sometimes, even if I'm a big fan and I see those damn ticket prices, I'm like, yo. Denise, you're going to have to find a different way. At the end of the day, yes and no, Santi. Yes to the people that have the means. No to the people that still don't have the means to do that. Because it's like, there's probably a bunch of people that are like, fuck, I really want to go to WrestleMania. But the question is, can I? Can I go to WrestleMania?
Sure. I'll say this. Definitely a ticket mover. Nothing. Dude, I could have the Pope versus fucking Thanos at WrestleMania, and it does not justify the ticket price. There's no justifying it.
Okay, let me ask you an honest question. What would make you pay at least, how much is it for front row tickets?
It's $46,000.
Okay, $46,000. What would WWE have to book for you to pay $46,000 for front row tickets?
Hey, I would need to be in the main event. I would need to be the main event in order for me to pay that much.
All right, that's fair. I think for me it would be like literally Taylor Swift versus anybody. I don't care. If Taylor Swift was there, I would take out all these credit cards. I would do a GoFundMe. I would do like a 50-hour stream to raise money. I would do I'd start a fake website selling
There you go.
pics.
Now we're talking. Now we're fucking talking.
I would be doing everything in my power to get the cash to see Taylor Swift at WrestleMania.
Hell yeah.
Oh, man. All right, so the beatdown, though. Santi, the beatdown, the moment. Okay, there was a lot of people that were kind of, and I know, trust me, I know for a fact that if Cody would have turned heel, right now, shit would be blowing up. I think people are really excited about Randy, but Cody would have been like the big thing. I know we're cool with Randy being the one to turn heel, but do you think that this was the opportunity to have Cody be the one to do it? Or are you just like, nah, man, let's stretch it out and see how far we can take it?
To Because one of the things that I've said to the checkers, I've seen people say, this was the opportunity for Cody turning heel. Cody turning heel would have been fucking little landscape changes. Obviously, I don't disagree. What I've been saying is that Cody turning heel is actually so big that it's not something to build up a Mania match, it's something that happens at Mania. Cody turning heel is a WrestleMania moment. And this match, this feud, it didn't need help creating a Mania moment. It needed help creating a Mania build. And that's where turning Randy heel is actually the better choice. Because turning Randy heel, that works to build the WrestleMania match. Now, I don't think you can have both unless they do the elusive double turn at WrestleMania somehow, some way. But I think that this feud needed help in the build, not help in creating the WrestleMania moment. That's my personal opinion. Obviously, Cody turning heel would have been bigger, more of a crazy, insane buzz that it would have created. It would have changed the game entirely. But I think for what they needed for this Mania, which was to build excitement and hype for this match, a match that a lot of people weirdly were really upset was even happening, this was the correct move in my opinion.
Let me ask you a question. I'm going to ask you the same question, but with a hypothetical. Had it been Cody that turned heel, would this bid have been the WrestleMania Night 2 main event?
I without a doubt.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I
I think without a doubt. Like, that's the biggest lever that WWE could pull right now for a full-timer. Obviously, like, they had the Cena lever of turning him heel, but that's not a full-timer. I'm talking about somebody that's there day in, day out, whose heel turn really would be landscape changing. Cena turning heel didn't change the landscape of wrestling. It changed the landscape of his retirement tour. Exclusively just the retirement tour. But Cody turning heel, that changes fucking everything. It changes so much. It changes who's the poster child, who's the one that you send to the Tonight Show, who's the one that is doing all the meet and greets with the kids and all this stuff. It changes so much. Yeah, without a doubt, there would have. I think.
Well, I agree with
I straight up think that Roman would have had to dig up Larry Bones in order to even match Cody turning heel. I think he would have needed to dig up Larry and turn him into a taxidermy and marionette him around like Weekend at Bernie's or something.
No. Just come out every time. Oh, hell no. I think I would have shown up myself to try to, fight Roman Reigns if he did something like that. Okay, so that's where we're at with this. Like, this is exciting, though, because I do like the idea of people being like, this is my main event. No, this is my main event. And us having that, that thought process for all of that. By the way, we got Limeen H. Hug here who says, can Cody turn heel on Randy after the loss at WrestleMania? I'm under the belief that Randy will win at WrestleMania. I think it makes for a much better story to have him tease that he could possibly go for that 17th world title.
I actually think that Cody Rhodes should win.
Yeah, that's why I switched to Goop.
I actually think that Cody Rhodes should win just because he should make up for his loss last year. And I'm hoping we have a better match and a better ending, and he should make up for a terrible loss last year. He should win to continue the storyline.
Excellent. Gemini, help me come up with a raceway speech that sounds like it came from me.
You'd say something like, thanks.
Perfect.
Possibly get to where they can't stretch it anymore. There's gonna come a day where people are like, fuck it, like Cody really needs to turn heel. Or hell, the crowd might do it themselves. We've seen shades of that a little bit here and there where it seems like the crowd is trying to turn Cody heel, but not the company necessarily. But they have been teasing it though. Like, I mean, come on, we've talked about those Sammy moments backstage, other ways in which he's acted with GMs where he has shown shimmers of him being a heel a little bit, but hasn't gone all the way yet. Thank you, Limeen. We got Trevero Armenta here who says, great show tonight. We're finally seeing the storylines develop with a great green segment today. Can we see 3 triple threats between Tiffy, Chelsea, and Julia for the U.S. title? Also, Jelly teased that top rope today. You know what that means. Oh my god, there's a lot here. Okay, so with the women, I guess there's a lot of people are expecting Tiffany and Julia here to happen. They haven't made anything like that official yet, though, right? Like, this is just speculation. speculation. But Chelsea Green has been lurking in the back. She's been kind of having her moment with Tiffany Stratton, but I don't know how much longer Chelsea Green is going to be in that boot for. So I'm not really entirely sure what is going to end up happening there. But do you think Tiffany Stratton versus Julia is a big enough match for Tiffany Stratton at WrestleMania?
I mean, Tiffany is somebody that could be in the main event, right? I think this is more of a beggar candy chooser situation. You know, we can't find a main event program for her, but we got to find a way to get her on the main card. She's literally in the dinner commercial, right? Same thing goes with Io Sky, by the way, on the other side over on Monday Night Raw. They're kind of like two sides of the same coin, two people that you absolutely want to see on the WrestleMania card. Let's also not forget as well that there is a pair of hour of pre-shows that should have matches, I presume, this year at WrestleMania with them being on ESPN. So there's plenty of room for this year, for everybody at this year's WrestleMania. I say everybody, I mean the names that should be on the Mania card. All of them will probably get on the Mania card, Tiffany included. But I will say, I feel like they just made this up. Julia started off the show like, I heard what you've been saying, that you're going to be a U.S. champion. I was like, she never fucking said anything.
Has she?
I've never heard her say, I've never heard anything about them two going after about Tiffany wanting the U.S. title. I feel like they just made it up. My whole chat was just like, we have no memory of
I don't have a memory of that. That's why I'm just like, okay, I'm going to take your word for that, but also I have a shitty memory, so I'm not entirely too sure. But it did feel sprung out of nowhere. When I saw everybody talking about it, I was like, fuck, what did I miss? Was I dead? Was I asleep? When did this happen?
You didn't miss anything. I said it like in the live stream and in my reaction. I'm like, they just made that up.
Well, I saw that. I don't know if you saw, but I guess somewhere online, I don't remember who, because I wasn't really like in a moment where I could stop and look, but I saw that it was going around that apparently WWE is trying to have more women's matches for WrestleMania, and there were some like reports and rumors of some of the WrestleMania matches that were going to be happening for the women. I didn't look at the list, but I'm wondering if that was on there, and that's why everybody's suddenly like, okay, like this is where we're going at in regards with Julia and with Tiffany. I personally think that in order to do Julia versus Tiffany, they gotta book Julia way better, because Tiffany to me is on a whole other level. So this doesn't feel like a WrestleMania caliber matchup for Tiffany Stratton unless they truly really built it up in the next 6 weeks and they really let the girls go, like let them go and actually have a physical matchup. If not, this doesn't feel big enough for me for Tiffany Stratton.
I don't disagree. Like I said, there's pre-show, so it doesn't even have to feel WrestleMania big. We just need a reason to get these two in the ring, I think.
That's crazy, because she's a former champ. She was wrestling Charlotte last year. That's too crazy for me. Thank you, Shavero. We got nothing happened in 96 here. It said, before you roast me, I truly believe Randy is only the heel for the build. Cody stands tall at Mania as a definitive heel because Randy will hesitate. Now, it's a fight for night 2, Cody versus Randy. Hell in a Cell? Is that what you're saying? HRC?
Yeah.
Hell in a Cell?
Yeah.
Okay. I love that, actually.
Wait, what in the fucking world makes you think Randy will hesitate after he murdered Cody? Where would the hesitation come from?
That's true.
Bashed
That's
his head with a chair while he's bleeding against a metal step. What's there left to hesitate on?
I don't know. Maybe that day he's gonna be in a.
2009, IED, or I think it was IED, right? In intermittent explosive disorder, right? I think that's what they called it. Maybe his IED, he was beating him up on the and one longer being a part of the Smackdown creative team, that was in some way going to improve the overall quality of Smackdown. I got bad news for you. We should have had Wade Barrett stand up from the announce desk. I'm afraid I've got some bad news. Told you not to expect that. But now you know. You know, Drew McIntyre quit on tonight's show. He has since unquit, but he quit. on SmackDown tonight. I'm thinking about quitting myself after sitting through 3 hours of this. Or I should say 2 hours and 45 minutes of this. Because the only redeeming part of tonight's show was, in fact, the final 15 minutes of the show. You don't have to watch anything else that happened on SmackDown tonight outside of the contract signing that they closed with. This was as just nothing happening, boring, bad television as WWE has put on all year. I don't know how we are actually getting closer to WrestleMania, and somehow these shows seem to be getting progressively worse. I don't understand how that works. I don't know what to say at this point. I don't know what to say at this point. Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes, they had a contract signing for WrestleMania, because we know what the main event, presumably of night one, is going to be for the WWE Championship. And Cody and Randy are like this, right? They're bosom buddies. Even though Randy Orton dropped him with an RKO in the Elimination Chamber to win the Chamber and punch his ticket to WrestleMania. These two have known each other for a very long time. These two, a lot of people have been waiting to see this match. And not just a match. I mean, we had them in the King of the Ring finals previously, but an actual story behind the match. One that taps into the history between Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. As Cody Rhodes said on the show tonight, the very first match he had in WWE. In 2007, the year I started the podcast, by the way, okay? That's how far back this goes. His very first match was against Randy Orton. And then we know all the stuff with Legacy and everything that came after that, right? So there's a lot of his history there to dive into. We got a small little piece of it in the contract signing. They were being awfully nice to each other. They were being awfully chummy, which should have been a sign that something was about to go down. Cody Rhodes signed the contract. Randy Orton had some trouble doing so. He was expecting Drew McIntyre to be in this spot. And Cody told him, look, when the bell rings, I want you to bring your best. I want the best Randy Orton. I want the Viper. I want Mr. RKO Randy Orton at WrestleMania. And Randy signed the contract. And at that point, Randy Orton, it's like as soon as he put pen to paper and put his signature on the contract, a switch got flipped. All the way back to 2009, Randy Orton. And he attacked Cody Rhodes. He kicked him in the dick. It's like John Cena a year ago, all over again. Only this time we got a violent, bloody angle to close out the show. He bloodied up Cody Rhodes. You know, we don't get to see this on WWE television very often.
I come over there and punch you in the face.
So when they actually do it,
Luigi.
and you have Cody in this case do a blade job, and he did a hell of a blade job, because, I mean, there was blood all over the place. On the announce desk, on the floor, Randy had Cody's blood all over him.
I think it's a big problem.
It is more effective, given that we don't get to see this very often here on WWE. It was a violent attack, right? Leaving no doubt that this was a Randy Orton heel turn, except nobody clued in the fans in Phoenix to this. Because for the most part, and I don't want to make it sound like there were no boos at all whatsoever, when the angle was going on and he was beating him up on the outside, there were boos, but by and large, especially at the end, they were cheering Randy Orton for nearly killing Cody Rhodes at the end of this show. They went off the air tonight with the fans chanting Randy, as Cody Rhodes laid there in a pool of his own blood, being tended to by officials. And when it was over, I was very conflicted. On the one hand, I was very happy that we got something on this show. This was a bad show. If you want to talk about drumming up interest and excitement in your biggest event of the year, okay, you can't be putting out standard SmackDown. I understand that not every week the television show can be a home run. It's 3 hours of television that they have to write. Not every week is going to be a grand slam. That's not what I'm saying. We are in a period right now where we are 5 weeks away from what is supposedly their biggest show of the year. And I mean, I watched this show, and literally 2 hours into the show, when I realized we still had another hour left, not even 2 hours, we were an hour, 90 minutes into this show, and I'm like, this is horrendous. This is horrendous. You would never know that WrestleMania was right around the corner.
It's very hard
I
to
would
listen
say
to
that
all
it was
the
a
evidence
one-match
when
show,
described
but
by
it
McDonald.
wasn't even a
I'm
match.
jury consultant.
It was
I
a
go
contract
listen to
signing.
all evidence in the courtroom. So it's very
That's
hard
all
to
this show
discount what
was.
happened.
So I was happy to get some kind of big angle at the end here, right? So that was nice, because if we didn't get that, we wouldn't have had nothing tonight, okay? So that's number one. Number two, I like that they went the bloody violent route. I thought that was effective. But I'm also watching this and going, man, they should have, if they were going to do this, why not save it until WrestleMania? I understand you got 5 more weeks and you got to try to make things interesting. And there are ways that you could have done that where, again, they dig a little bit into their history and you build the tension slowly over these next 5 weeks between these two men and get people thinking that, wait a minute, something's going to go down at WrestleMania, right? Whatever's going to happen is going to happen at WrestleMania. Because I take you back 1 year. I'm watching the fans here tonight chanting for Randy Orton, right, when this show was over. And it took me back to a year ago when we went through the same thing with John Cena and Cody Rhodes. As great as the initial angle was at Elimination Chamber, turning John Cena heel, the heel turn did not work. And even when he was trying his hardest last year, right, he was healing on the fans, and all you fans have treated me so badly for 25 years, right? It was fucking terrible because John Cena has been beloved for so many years, and it just felt so forced. And it just didn't work. And you had people who knew that this was the last time they were going to be able to see John Cena. They did not want to boo that man. So it didn't work. It did not work. And here we are again, and my fear is that they haven't learned the lessons of the past. And they couldn't wait until WrestleMania. They just, we got to have a heel turn. As soon as the contract gets signed, somebody's got to go heel. And they turned Randy tonight, so now we have 5 weeks of heel Randy Orton going into WrestleMania, and it's like, man, they should have waited until Mania to do it. Which, of course, in hindsight, I look at the John Cena thing and I feel the exact same way. I don't think that WrestleMania main event last year would have been as bad if they would have saved the actual turn for Mania. And I think it would have been more impactful. But that, again, that's hindsight and that's, 2020 vision there. So I do wonder if they made a mistake by sort of jumping the gun and doing this tonight instead of saving it for WrestleMania. I know people are going to look at this and go, they turned the wrong person. They should have turned Cody Rhodes. And I've been talking about this recently, like, again, there's nobody that they have on that roster right now who is prepared to be in that position. They have not gotten anybody ready to be in the Cody Rhodes spot if they wanted to turn Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. I don't see who that person is, okay? So that's the main reason why I don't see them turning Cody Rhodes heel. I understand that people are going to be very disappointed in that. They want to see Cody go heel. They're sick and tired of babyface Cody, corporate Cody. It's not going to happen. It certainly doesn't seem like it's going to happen after what they did tonight. So you got to put that away for now. I'm just more like looking at this, wondering if the Randy turn came too early, and they felt like, oh, we got to do something to really, heat things up. Let's just do it now. Now we wait for the explanation, because why would Randy Orton do what he did to Cody Rhodes now, right? Is it going to end up being a situation where we're going to get the Randy Orton promo next week where he talks about how you've been back in the company now for 3 years, or however many, 4 years. You've been WWE champion, because we've seen Randy Orton, and I wouldn't be shocked if they put little clips of this in the eventual video package just to illustrate the point, because I've pointed this out numerous times. All of the different times that Randy Orton was spotted, right, eyeballing the championship. And Cody would be sitting next to him, right? And he'd be looking at the belt. Like it was on his mind.
Cody Rhodes needs to
and at no point did Cody offer to give him a championship match. It's almost like the Mega Powers angle, where if you remember when Hogan and Savage had their split, one of the things that Savage said to Hogan is that, man to man, you never came at me asking for a title shot, right? Instead, Hogan was busy, groping his wife and doing all this other stuff. But that was one of the things that really upset him, is that you never asked me for a title shot. Are we going to get a similar story here, where Orton is like, you and I have been tight. I've had your back, even at my own expense. Because remember, Randy has taken beatdowns for Cody in the past, right? From the Samoans. And is it going to be one of those cases where, you never even thought to come to me and say, hey, do you want a shot at this? right? Maybe they could explore that as a possibility. I'm curious to see next week, unless they do one of these things where Randy's like, I don't know anybody, an explanation, but what is the explanation, the rationale for him doing what he did tonight? It wasn't like Cody
And then we have
dropped him at the Elimination Chamber. He dropped Cody. If anybody should be upset, it should be Cody upset at Randy, and instead Randy drops him at the Elimination Chamber to become the #1 contender. And then he nearly destroys this man tonight. Why now? Right, we need to get that explanation for Randy Orton. Why was it so important for him to do that now? Or did he just lose his mind? Maybe the voices got to him. What was that condition that he had back in 2009? IED, or I think it was IED, right? Intermittent explosive disorder, right? I think that's what they called it. Maybe his IED flared up. I don't know, but the timing of the heel turn is what I question right now. As an angle, though, I thought it was effective. Let me say this. It was effective in terms of the violence. Was it effective in terms of what WWE was going for? I don't know. Just because they were cheering for Randy Orton when they went off the air. But I just feel like now we're going to be in a situation like we were with John Cena a year ago. I don't understand why it had to happen now. And maybe 5 weeks from now, they'll convince me that this was the right move. But I feel like this is something that should have been saved for WrestleMania. And you would have had people going into Mania wondering who's going to turn heel. Could it be Cody? Could it be Randy? Well, now you've already given the answer away. Unless they do a double turn, and I don't see them doing a double turn. You've already given the answer away. Now you've taken some of the drama away. When I think it would have been cool to kind of preserve that and keep people guessing for the next few weeks. But that was really, honestly, I mean, the only thing worth a damn on this show. I mentioned Drew McIntyre, him quitting. He was very upset about being screwed out of the champion, or in his mind, being screwed out of the championship. He quit, and then, of course, he came back before the show was over to attack Jacob Fatu, which sets up not a WrestleMania match. It sets up a Smackdown match for next Friday. And we'll get into that. We also had more MFTs and Wyatt 6 nonsense lantern stuff here on. You know, I watched this show, and tonight was one of those nights. It is physically painful. It is. I get pain. It's like stomach pain sometimes when I watch these shows. I don't know. Like we had a few weeks ago where they got the lantern back, right? Made you think that maybe we finally reached the climax here. Uncle Howdy got the win over Solo Sikoa. Just for Tala Tonga to steal the lantern back. This must continue. So then we have a tag team match tonight. And again, the Wyatt 6, they win. The babyfaces have now won twice now. Twice. Now usually in an extended feud like this, you're building to the babyfaces to get the win. Right? They've won twice. And they got the lantern back. But then Tama Tonga steals the lantern back. They're going to drag this shit out until WrestleMania. Because, of course, they have nothing else for either one of these factions to be doing other than to continue to feud with each other. And they'll build to some kind of match at WrestleMania, and the lantern will be returned to the Wyatt family. In the meantime, we have 5 more weeks of this shit. It is awful television. Just brutal. Brutal. The Bella Twins were back. They're getting a tag team championship match next week. And at WrestleMania, I'm sure. But yes, they were back tonight. They're getting their match. And Jelly Roll was on the show. Because we got to have our obligatory celebrity appearance at WrestleMania. So now Jelly Roll is back, and clearly they're building to something, a match for him at WrestleMania. I'll say this, Jelly Roll is a better promo than most wrestlers. He's pretty good at that. He's pretty good at that. Do I need to see Jelly Roll and The Miz wrestling at WrestleMania? No, I do not. But it looks like that's where we're headed. After the angle that they shot here on this show tonight. I do want to show you a sign. This is a sign that was in the crowd on their own show tonight. This was caught on television. Triple H has no fresh ideas. I didn't say it, but that man Well, actually, I can't see who's holding the sign. I can't see if that's a guy or a girl. But whoever's holding that sign, we're building to, like, Clash at the Castle or something. What are we doing here? This is fucking horrendous. This is your Friday the 13th Smackdown review. Like and subscribe. Super chats are open. Appreciate all the support. Boy, do I need some support after watching some of these shows. I'll be reading your messages as we go along here. There is some wrestling coming up this weekend, in case you were wondering. Texas Death is coming for MJF, and I am going to be live for the AEW Revolution review. That will be on Sunday night. It'll be a very late night on Sunday. But if you thought the ending of Smackdown tonight was violent and bloody, oh boy, you just wait. You just wait. You're going to get that in the first probably 30 seconds of this match. And I saw that Tony Khan actually just tweeted that Revolution, if it hasn't already, Revolution, he claims, is expected to sell out. Well, should specify, sell out of their allotment of tickets. They're at the Crypto.com arena. I'm pretty sure that's like a 20,000 seat building. They ain't getting 20,000 people in that building, but if they get 11,000, that's a healthy crowd. So good for them. Anyway, that'll be on Sunday night. Let's spin the wheel. Find out how many likes we need for Be the Booker tonight. Let's take her for a spin. $465 is the magic number for tonight. That is how many likes we need. That's the likes minimum for tonight. 465 likes. So you guys know what to do. We didn't get there on Wednesday. See if we can get there tonight.
This is the third time now that WWE has
But
really
boy,
said,
oh
"Fuck you
man,
to
this
the
show
fans."
was a struggle, let me tell you.
final two
And I know I'm not the only
contracts
one who feels that way because you were commiserating with each other in the live chat. I was dropping in and I could feel your pain. It's just so lifeless.
Just dumped out
It's
like a
just-
sack of shit. The crowd shouldn't
I don't
bullshit
know,
because
man.
it was predictable. Everyone knew it was gonna happen. That's why people were pissed.
I don't
And I see a lot of people are pissed at why Triple H.
Drew McIntyre, start from the beginning here. Drew McIntyre was not happy about what happened last week. We got a lot to talk about here in this review. Drew McIntyre lost his WWE Championship to Cody Rhodes. So he came out of the crowd, kicked things off, and he was calling on Nick Aldis to come on out and make things right. Said that instead of protecting your golden boy, Cody Rhodes, from the crowd, says, so Drew's pointing fingers at everybody else. He's pointing fingers at the referee. He's pointing fingers at Nick Aldis. But let's keep it real. I'm the one that screwed your ass. So what the hell is Drew going to do about it? And Drew said, what am I going to do about it? He said, you and Nick and Cody and all of these people, I'm done with it. And he walked right up to Nick Aldis and he told him, I quit. And with that, he left the ring and he exited through the crowd. So if this sounds awfully familiar to you, then it should. For good reason. If it's deja vu that you're getting, because on the show is to torment Tama Tonga every single week. And he looks at Tama Tonga and he once again asks him, when are you going to be your own man? But Solo Sikoa walks back in. And he warns Nakamura, stay the hell away before you get hurt. So after a break, Jacob Fatu was with Nick Aldis. He was not happy that Drew McIntyre just up and quit. Right when he was about to whoop, and before he could finish what he was going to match at about 6 years at this point. I don't even know if she would remember how to wrestle, but she, so that we can drag this out and prolong this even more. For all of the time that they have now devoted to this feud, literal months and months of this, they've gotten very little return on their investment. Because every single time that some combination of these guys are in the ring together, they are just wrestling to no reaction. They are wrestling to crickets and nobody cares. There was no engagement from the crowd. There was no back and forth except for the finish where, again, people were just happy it was over with. It's not just me watching from home on television. I'm watching the same fucking show that everybody else is watching. And I'm paying very close attention to whether the fans are engaged. I'm thinking maybe I'm just weird. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm in the minority here. But I'm not. Nobody seems to care about this. Why are we still doing this? We go backstage. Damian Priest is talking to R-Truth. They had just gotten done watching what we all watched. Sorry for them. R-Truth was wearing a Stone Cold Steve Austin t-shirt as we get ready for 316 Day. He has not officially been announced for 316 Day, but it'll be very disappointing if he's not there on the show. He'll be on Busted Open Radio, by the way, Monday morning. So, I'm sure LaGreca and them will ask him point blank, are you going to be on Raw tonight? Otherwise, what the hell is the point of even doing the interview? So Truth thought the MFTs were the Judgment Day, and so Damian Priest had to correct him and tell him that's not the Judgment Day. Priest said that when they face those guys, though, they will become the WWE Tag Team Champions. Who are the Tag Team Champions? Who are the Tag Team Champions on this show? Oh, it's the MFTs. Oh my God. They're feuding over the lantern. I totally forgot they had belts.
4 weeks now. And also, by the way, 4 weeks now, we still don't know why this storyline is even happening.
Anyway,
So they don't care.
Los Garza shows up. They complain about Priest and Truth stealing the win after all they did. Talking about the match last week. After all the hard work in the gauntlet match that they put in. And Priest just remembered taking them out quickly during that match. And then he said, you know what, I'm going to go talk to Nick Aldis. And I'm going to make a match between the four of us tonight. Yeah. Hey, look. Yeah. I don't know what to tell you. When that feud is so focused on a lantern, it is hard to remember that the actual tag team championships are involved as well. Because the titles have taken a backseat to the lantern. The lantern is really the subject of this entire storyline, this whole feud between them. It really doesn't have anything to do with the tag team titles. And the tag team division fucking sucks on this show, so it's easy to just forget about the tag team titles altogether. Can't blame me for that. Jade Cargill, the WWE Women's Champion, took on Michin tonight. Non-title. Before the match, they cut to comments. This was very weird. So they cut to comments backstage earlier from Julia and Kiana James. And they were directed towards Tiffany Stratton. Kiana said that Tiffany talks a big game. And Julia asked Tiffany, do you really think that you could take this U.S. title from me? And I was very confused.
I love this match.
And I was racking my... Now, I was not here last week, although I did go back and skim the important parts of the show. I was at House of Glory last week, but... And that brought out Rhea Ripley. And Jade bailed outside at that point. Rhea got in the ring. And Rhea said that at WrestleMania, Jade wouldn't be that. She wouldn't be a... She would be her bitch. That's it. Really deep stuff there. Really, really deep stuff here in this promo. 5 weeks. They have 5 weeks to really try to put some heat on this. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they do it. If this is what we're doing here, where every week they're just going to say, I'm that bitch. No, I'm that bitch. You know what? I'm half expecting that, like, Vince McMahon is secretly texting Triple H stuff, and we're going to, or Bruce, and we're going to get a pose down between them. That would totally be a Vince segment. I'm waiting for the pose down between them. Remember the Triple H and Scott Steiner pose down back in the day? Honestly, outside of, like, Jay doing something dastardly to Io Sky as a way to get at Rhea, and I'd rather not, because Io should have her own dedicated storyline and match that she's preparing for WrestleMania. Asuka. outside of her doing something like that, I'm not even sure, honestly, what they can do. Because clearly, on the promo side, you know, they're not leaning into any of the social media stuff from last week. And on the promo side, there ain't much there. There really isn't. You know, but again, if she did something to Io obviously is best friends with Rhea. They've established this. That would be something, but you know, I wouldn't want her to do something that takes, you know, Io out of WrestleMania or anything like that. Yes, Rude and the Warrior. I forgot about that one too. Maybe Jade will crack one of those workout bars across Rhea's back. They'll have like a push-up contest. Jade was doing push-ups in the middle of her match with Michin tonight. I'm telling you, we're going to be getting some kind of pose-down type segment soon. You watch. You watch. Cody Rhodes was backstage. He was chatting with Nick Aldis about the contract signing later on.
Nobody give a fuck on television.
When you need it, we're there for you.
Brian Thompson's not human being.
We rely on mobile networks for just about everything. In America, these networks rely on Ericsson, with our technology deployed at nearly 250,000 sites in...
No one
Is away from 100 and... Punk and Roman. That, or if they're actually trying. And if they're actually trying, then there's a problem. Because their trying sucks. And their trying is boring. Boring. I don't believe 2026, in the world of pro wrestling, it's just as bad as it was in 2025. Boring! Boring! Capital B! Oh. We had to sit through 2.5 hours of literal garbage tonight. They almost didn't even try. 2.5 hours, which gave way to the one thing, the only thing that really mattered on tonight's show, and that was the quote-unquote heel turn for Randy Orton, which is not really a heel turn because if you guys listened to the fans in Phoenix tonight, I don't think Randy Orton is going to be ultimately booed at WrestleMania. The big story surrounding SmackDown tonight was the contract signing between Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes to finally make their WWE Championship match at WrestleMania Night 1 in the main event official. They wanted to put pen to paper and they wanted to make everything official, which is fine. You know how these contract signings usually end up. Someone is either going through the table or getting beat up at the end of it. It's the typical pro wrestling trope. Contract signing leaves one guy incapacitated while the other guy holds up the championship title, hyping that he's going to win the match. Cody legitimately came into tonight after winning the WWE Championship last week from Drew McIntyre. 202,000 dislikes, which YouTube did not reverse, by the way. So either that guy was full of shit who said he bought bots, or there are legitimately 202,000 people that just didn't want to see Cody Rhodes as the WWE Champion and were upset that Drew McIntyre was not walking into WrestleMania as the WWE Champion. I said clear as day that it's not that far-fetched to think that that many people were upset about this title change. Usually YouTube reverses that type of suspicious activity after 48 hours. They did not. So it looks like the number still stands. Unless they're doing some deep dive investigation. He won the WWE Championship last week from Drew McIntyre. It was a very controversial decision if you live or browse around social media. I didn't have a problem with it. I thought it was a decision that, if you watched the show, you kind of figured out where they were going. Drew McIntyre needed to win the WWE Championship on January 9th in their 3 Stages of Hell match. Yes, he only held the championship for 2 months. Yes, it was a very lackluster title reign, but it all meant something regardless, because now it gives way to a feud with Jacob Fatu. And we get the bigger story here with Randy and Cody. I am okay without the original plan of a Fatal 4-Way. It was supposed to be Randy, Cody, Drew, and Fatu in a Fatal 4-Way. I'm alright if you split these 4 guys up into 2 separate matches, and you make WrestleMania stronger via those 2 stories. Coming into tonight, I legitimately thought that we were going to get some dialogue, some discussion about Randy and Cody's past, how they got here, what this means to them, maybe kind of dabble in some discussion about legacy and how Cody got brought up, and more of a student versus mentor type of vibe via the promo tonight. I thought there'd be some tensions building. I thought there'd be like a slow burn to him ultimately turning heel eventually. I even thought that maybe the heel turn doesn't happen on the actual road during the build, but it maybe happens at WrestleMania in the main event after the match is over. WWE took a risk, small one. They took a risk and decided to turn Randy Orton heel tonight. Now, I joke, and sometimes, you say something on social media, it goes right over someone's head. They think that you're being serious, and I'm very much joking, but kind of not at the same time if you listen to the crowd reaction tonight in Phoenix. Randy Orton, what he did is a heel turn. I joke that Randy Orton didn't really turn heel because I think you and I and everybody who's smart watching this product on a week-to-week basis and sees the vibe and sees the energy of the shows and how the crowd reacts. Randy Orton in action might have turned heel, but the crowd reaction says otherwise. What did I say a week ago? What did I say when I uploaded that Cody Randy video on the channel, chat? I would prefer a Cody Rhodes heel turn. I very much want to see a Cody Rhodes heel turn. I think he's got it in him to be a dastardly heel, like a Randy Orton. I'm waiting for that day. I think that's going to be a great day. I think that's going to be great television. I think him embracing the hate is going to be one of those deals where it's like, finally, man. Finally. Which may actually get him some genuine reactions as far as people finally letting go of their Cody hate and kind of embracing Cody, along with Cody embracing the hate that the fans have given back to him. I want to see a Cody heel turn. But WWE was never going to do a Cody heel turn now or then. Then meaning WrestleMania. Until those reactions were finally, those social media reactions were bleeding into the live paying person buying a ticket to these shows. They were never going to do that unless that social media reaction was so overwhelming in the arena with these live audiences. If you boo Cody online on social media, then it should translate to that and those people in the building. It didn't. So no matter 202,000 dislikes on YouTube, everybody cheered. Mostly everybody. I'm not saying everybody, but mostly everybody cheered when he won the WWE Championship. It was an overwhelmingly positive reaction last Friday night. I didn't think that they were going to turn Randy. Now, I figured Randy would eventually turn. But WWE feels that with a Randy heel turn, that this is going to be a lot better for the story. Now, he turns heel in action, like I just previously mentioned, but the crowd reaction said differently. Now, is Phoenix one of those smart crowds? No. No, Phoenix isn't a smart crowd. They're not Chicago, they're not New York, they're not London. This is Phoenix, Arizona, in the middle of nowhere. These people cheered Randy Orton. as he brutalized, snapped, and bloodied Cody Rhodes, leaving him in a pile of his own spit and blood. Lying on the commentator's table, wedged in between steel steps. As he went into the ring, set up a chair, got comfortable, and looked at the WWE Championship as if he was Gollum, once again retrieving the Ring of Power. He looked at that like it was something that belonged to him for all this time, and he finally retrieved it and got it back. And the crowds chanted,
like the young
Randy! 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 And the fans cheered as Cody was being bloody.
Were they tag team champions?
Is Phoenix some smart crowd that we didn't know of? Or are people genuinely tired after last Friday of Cody Rhodes being the golden boy? And this era's John Cena. Or what WWE likes to coin QB1. Randy Orton is one of the more popular acts in the history of WWE. He's also one of the most respected acts in the history of WWE. And if you're going to bring Randy Orton into a match with Cody Rhodes as he's chasing number 15, and the fans are already tired of Cody Rhodes becoming a 3-time WWE champion and main eventing WrestleMania now how many fucking years in a row since he's been back, since he left AEW, what do you expect the reaction to be? WWE can't be that stupid. So yes, Randy Orton turned heel in action, but come WrestleMania, Randy Orton is not going to be the heel coming into the match. Cody Rhodes will very much be the heel from the energy in the arena at Allegiant Stadium. Randy Orton's going to be the one that fans want to see win number 15 and win the WWE Championship.
Yeah, because Cody Rhodes was at the heel last year, going up against John Cena, because John Cena, even though he was a heel, he was cheering, and Cody was booed. We might get the same thing here. So I'm curious who's going to win this match and what's going to happen.
So yes, Randy Orton, and the reason why I say Randy Orton turned babyface tonight is because Randy Orton didn't really turn heel. People just don't want Cody Rhodes as the WWE champion. Now that's going to be something to follow along as the weeks go on. Is it just Phoenix? Is it just an isolated incident in Phoenix? Or is it going to be something that happens next week, and the week after that, and the week after that? And then when they get into these major cities, because they'll be hitting New York, and they'll be going to Boston, what's the reaction going to be like in the actual smart mark cities? It's going to be even worse for Cody Rhodes. WWE's got something special here. I know CM Punk and Roman Reigns right now are carrying the load for this very lackluster WrestleMania build. It's the only match that's been announced so far that has given you any feeling that it's WrestleMania. That's one segment out of weekly television that spans a 2.5-hour Raw and a 3-hour SmackDown. There's nothing else that gives you a sense that it's WrestleMania. It almost feels like WWE's building to Backlash, or a Clash in Italy, or one of these B-level pay-per-views instead of it being a WrestleMania. They need to pick up the pace. They need to start announcing matches. They need to start booking matches. They need to start telling stories for these matches. But they got something special here. You know, Punk and Roman have a long history, dating back to the debut of the Shield. And Punk brought the Shield in. He didn't want Roman, he wanted Cassius Ohno. Punk's history with the Shield goes way back. Way back. And that's a great story, and they got a great history. But if you want legitimate WrestleMania main event level story, WrestleMania main event level build, WWE has the opportunity to have Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton be the main event of WrestleMania. I don't mean it's going to main event night 2, because it's not. But I'm talking about story, environment with the fans in arenas on the road to WrestleMania, the tension, the rivalry, just the overall feeling. Randy and Cody's history is so much more richer than a Punk and Roman. Because Randy's family and Cody's family just embodies a classic old school heel versus babyface feud for a world championship at the show of shows. And WWE has that. And I know Cody has been getting a lot of flack lately. Golden Boy, QB1, he's John Cena this, he's overexposed, he's jammed down everybody's throat. Fans have wanted Randy Orton as the Viper, as the one who is a psychotic heel for years. Everybody loves Randy Orton no matter what type of role he's playing, but when he is a sadistic, out for blood, leaving someone in their own piss and blood type of heel, there is rarely anybody better. Even at this age, even at this stage of his career, I think he's going to thrive more in this role than he did as a babyface. When he was a babyface, he was a little too forced. He was a little too smiley. And he was basically that guy that WWE called upon to get a pop out of everybody because his finishing move is classic. It's an OG move that gives feeling of the good old days. Things that we miss about the old product. And now WWE started to incorporate Randy Orton and the sing-along entrances, and people sing along to Randy Orton's theme music. I'm like, bro, can we get Randy doing things the way he used to? Can we get Randy just doing business? That's what they did tonight. They had the opportunity to tell such a rich, full, substantial story with Randy and Cody. Randy's heel, Cody is a babyface. It's not going to stay that way. I thought what they did tonight to set things up is a lot better than having them go promo for promo, and over the next 5 weeks they're glazing each other's fucking cock, and they're talking about how they love each other and how they're brothers and how they came in together and how their families are so great and my family's better than your family. Bro, I know a lot of people are like, oh, I felt forced. Oh, it's too soon. Oh, they shouldn't have done it now. They should have waited till WrestleMania. Bro, we need something to happen. What have I been telling you guys? We need some. Speaking of things you remember, at MGM Springfield, stay at a hotel where luxury awaits. Take your date for a memorable show on a great note with a cliffhanger going into next week. This is easy storytelling. Contract signing. Randy leaves him laying in his own piss and blood. Next week, Cody doesn't make the show. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. I don't know. Randy explains why he did what he did.
What? I didn't.
Plus,
I
you
only
got
have 3
that
times.
Aleister Black
You're telling the
connection.
truth.
Who's been kind of teasing that the real Randy Orton's kind of hiding
Well,
in
tell
there,
the
and I
truth.
know that you're bullshitting
I can tell.
everybody,
I can tell
and
by
I'm
my
just
face.
waiting for everybody to see the real Randy Orton like I know I see the real Randy Orton. Black
Well,
has been saying this for weeks now,
there was no body.
and
There
now
was
we
no
finally
food.
see it.
How? Oh, who
They needed something to happen. They needed to generate some excitement. If you can pinpoint elsewhere on the WrestleMania build, or in the WrestleMania build, on the road to WrestleMania, where this excitement's coming from, and you can't mention CM Punk and Roman Reigns, I'd love for someone to reach into my comment section or reach out to me on X and tell me where that is. What exactly are you excited about? Out of everything that they've announced so far, nothing is exciting. The prospects of matches that are out there, nothing seems exciting. WWE seems hesitant to announce anything for this fucking show. I don't know if they're waiting for the right moment. I don't know if they know what the fuck they want to do. But the 2 main events that they've given us, Punk Roman, Cody, and Orton, are the second best set of plans that WWE had in their back pocket outside of the original plans. Which is why WWE took the belt off Drew McIntyre to begin with. They took the belt off Drew McIntyre to give you this ending tonight. After 2.5 hours of a miserable show, they gave it to you, regardless. I don't think we would have gotten what we got tonight if it was going no need to. Randy would have two other people to worry about outside Cody Rhodes. This is the second best set of plans for the main event of WrestleMania outside the original plans. Which is why I said all week, I don't know why people were so up in their emotions about Cody winning the WWE Championship. I don't know what Triple H is thinking. Does Randy not win number 15? I don't give a fuck about Cody winning it and then dropping it at WrestleMania. Take it off of him. Who gives a shit? Flip-flop the belt. WWE doesn't do it all that often. For someone like Randy Orton, I absolutely would. Take the belt off Cody. Put it on Randy. Let Cody chase. Listen to the people. I get that WWE is fixated on Cody Rhodes being the guy. He doesn't need the championship to be the guy. He's the guy regardless. Champion or not. He's not even the guy. He's QB2. Do you know who the face of the company is? It ain't Cody. It's Roman. Roman works 20 dates a year. Guarantee Roman sells more merch than Cody Rhodes does too.
And I've been full-time for like 20 years. Well, the reason why I'm working part-time is because, and the reason why I'm working part-time is to work less and to save my schedule so I can be home with my family.
And he can do this radio show and that radio show and this podcast and that podcast and go to fucking CBS and NBC and ABC and sit down with all these news anchors and fucking promote the shit out of the product. He doesn't need to be the WWE champion.
Because it can't be about me, it has to be about my family.
He's already solidified himself in this stage of his career as the guy, champion or not.
And then we made the storyline about
So if the story calls for it, and the fans want someone else, like Randy, then make the move. The only problem is Triple H woke up in cold sweats the day of January 9th and decided the day of, I'm going to take the belt off Cody, because both Cody and Drew McIntyre convinced him to take the belt off Cody. Triple H didn't make that decision on his own. He didn't make that decision with Bruce. He didn't make that decision with the Smackdown writing team. He was forced by Cody himself. Triple H needs to make the right decision. They got a story here. They got an angle here.
So
they got a captivating main event element on SmackDown that has been absent for months. And they finally have it in Cody and Randy. To do what? Have Cody beat Randy and then what? Then what? Cody wins, he retains the title at WrestleMania, and then what? Take the belt off Cody. Don't know if there's going to be a cliffhanger angle at the end of the show, which is what I thought was going to happen at WrestleMania. Whatever happened tonight, I thought was going to happen at Mania. If they didn't do the heel turn tonight, then Cody probably would have ended up winning at WrestleMania. The fact that they did the heel turn tonight, my honest opinion, the way that I see it, it actually solidifies Randy winning the match even more so now. Because how could you have him lose? Take the belt off Cody, put it on Randy, have Cody chase. Do what you gotta do. The story is there. They needed to do something, chat. They needed to do something big time.
Actually, this match is not
for all the
event.
WWE Road to WrestleMania that we've gotten, they've given you nothing. We go through Monday and Friday, on to the next. Monday and Friday, on to the next. Monday and Friday, on to the next. And we're like, bro, where's the fucking season?
Well, it's been announced that it's not going to be
We're 5 weeks
Unfortunately, it's been
out,
announced that Cody Rhodes is not going to main
no
event
surprises, no elements, no fucking...
It's already been announced.
Man, it's WrestleMania.
WrestleMania. I don't know why.
They took the belt off Cody. People complained. It was the right decision, which led to this situation tonight. And they gave you something.
Why is Roman ready? Why is he
now they
ready?
just need to explain it, and we're good to go. We're driving down the fucking highway, windows are down, fucking music blasting, and we're on the road. Two matches are giving you the WrestleMania feel. WWE is basically still stuck at a rest stop somewhere, trying to figure out the rest of this fucking show for WrestleMania weekend. But what I thought tonight they did was fucking great.
Is something going to happen between Punk and
They were great.
Is something going to happen with
Angle was great, the heat was great, the shock of everybody was great, Randy turning heel Hill was great, which I joke he turned babyface. The fans cheered him. I thought what they did was fantastic stuff.
She came back and she had...
Elsewhere on this show, I can't really say the same. I genuinely don't know what they're doing on Friday. I was told that this show was going to be better since, oh, you didn't know? Got up and quit. Road Dogg quit. I thought the show was going to be better. Now, last week, the show was probably already written and set in stone. He quit anyway, so his influence was still probably all over that show. Tonight, Road Dogg's been gone a week now. What's the excuse? Maybe it wasn't Road Dogg after all. Road Dogg wasn't really a good addition to the writing team regardless. But this show was fucking awful. Awful. It's just the hardest 3 hours to sit through, maybe ever. And pro wrestling right now is not in a good place. You got people shilling numbers and fucking absolutely lying to their paying customers about ratings being up and attendance being up and this and that. One company doing good, the other doing bad, and vice versa. Bro, the on-air product is fucking boring! This is a weekly episodic television show. Give me episodic television. I watch Wednesday, nothing happens, but then we get a 5-star match and everybody's sharking their fucking cock to speedball Mike Bailey. I watch Monday, I wait 2.5 hours for a fucking heel turn on Finn Balor, and then a promo with Punk and the Usos. WrestleMania. Tonight I gotta sit through fucking Bellas, the Bella Twins, and then Tiffany Stratton and Julia all of a sudden getting added to the WrestleMania card for what fucking reason? 2.5 hours to get Cody and Randy in the main event. We're gonna try our best to go over the show tonight. Appreciate you all very much for joining me here on this Friday night. It is your Friday Night Smackdown post show for March 13th, 2026. I want to thank you guys for a great week. We are not done after tonight. We are not done after tonight, man. Sunday we have AEW Revolution. Man, I can't wait to watch 5.5 hours of pro wrestling on Sunday night. Oh, man.
No, I think that'll be well, there's no way
I will be live after the end of Revolution. I do believe I will be with Jesse. I think he's feeling a lot better today. He said he would be live streaming on Sunday, so I believe the dynamic duo will be back.
No, I think that commitment. No. Well, if there was thing, that's what I was.
So we got that on Sunday, and we will figure out the rest as we go into this weekend. We had some great content go up this week. Monday we were live for Raw. Tuesday Night Titans is always a great listen and a great watch. Go check that out. Wednesday I flew solo for the AEW Dynamite post. One of the worst television segments in AEW history with MJF and Adam Page and the press conference.
But that's not enough. I still call it.
Thursday we had a video on Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar and his ego could potentially derail an Obafemi match at WrestleMania. We'll talk about that tonight. We're live, and then Sunday, AEW Revolution. I like this. I don't like the fact that Drew quit. I think that's fucking lame. If you go read my tweet on social media, WWE has run with the Drew McIntyre quitting 3 separate times. This guy quit 3 separate times. He quit a year ago, feuding with Cody. He quit tonight. And then he even quit WWE while he was feuding with CM Punk on Monday Night Raw, a fucking bitch? Which is it? Does it make Drew McIntyre a man who stands on his laurels, stands on his Rowan starts beating him down, he tagged out for Solo. Howdy gets up and things don't go his way, he's a bitch and he quits. That's what we're doing with Drew McIntyre. Charlotte Flair and Miss Bliss. We're shown walking in the backpack. R-Truth. Lash legend Nia Jax, now known as are #1 contenders for the tag team titles. And also, they still have the Wyatt Lantern. He said that he and Tola Tonga are going to take care of Uncle Howdy and Eric Rowan tonight. He then gave the lantern to Tama Tonga and told Tama Tonga to protect the lantern because without it, the Wyatts are nothing. I think after this feud, everybody watching this is also nothing. After they left, Shinsuke Nakamura approached Tama Tonga and said something to him in Japanese that nobody understood. Solo came back to see Tama Tonga distraught, and he looked at Shinsuke and told Shinsuke, stay the hell away from our family before we hurt you. If you thought that the Wyatts and the MFTs were bad, wait till we get Shinsuke Nakamura getting added to the MFT vortex. Legitimately, outside of the Death Riders opening up every show on AEW Dynamite every Wednesday, and the Don Callis family versus the Death Riders every fucking week with every possible combination, with Jon Moxley running through all the fucking bench players. This is the worst television anywhere in professional wrestling. This has to be #1. And the Death Riders Don Callis family is easily #2. And if you want to reverse them and think the AEW Don Callis and Death Rider stuff is #1, I'm not going to argue with you. They're both fucking terrible. Legitimately fucking terrible. And I don't give a single shit about anything that's going on between both of these angles and both of these stories. And you're a weirdo if you find any of this interesting. Because it's fucking terrible.
I agree. God awful.
It's not good television. There's nothing engaging about it. None of the characters are even remotely interesting. Oh, but JD, Jon Moxley is... He's not banger matches, JD. Fuck your banger matches. Yes, because I can't wait to watch Jon Moxley versus El Clone on Saturday Night Collision. Nick Aldis. He's backstage talking to Jacob Fatu. Uncle Howdy. He teamed with Eric Rowan against Solo Sikoa and Tola Tonga. So we got the two big men starting the action as the bell rings. This is riveting stuff here, man. Riveting stuff here, man. I can't wait to talk about this, man. This is a match of the year right here. MFTs and the Wyatt Six, man. Oh, my goodness. So these two big guys lock up. Tola gets the best of Rowan, starts beating him down. He tags out to Solo. Howdy tags in. So Solo and Howdy are in there. Solo fires off the right hand.
You know who I am.
Howdy backed into the corner. Tola Tonga sends Howdy crashing into the ring apron and then outside to the announce desk. And then sends him into one of the barricades back first. And we go right into a commercial break. So Tola Tonga is in control of Uncle Howdy. He sends Howdy crashing into the announce desk, again spine first. Rolls him back into the ring. Solo levels Howdy with an uppercut. Connected on a spinning Solo. He goes for cover. Uncle Howdy kicks out. Howdy catches Solo with a back suplex. In comes Eric Rowan. And the fans, miraculous. She's up over there looking at the. What is it? Does he get up from sleep in the middle of the night and he can't find his way to the fucking bathroom to fucking bleed the lizard? What is it? Someone please explain it to me. What is the importance of the fucking lantern? Why? I mean, without the lantern, they're still winning matches, right? Can't be all that fucking powerful. Uncle Howdy pins Solo Sikoa without the lantern. This week he pins Uncle Howdy pins Solo Sikoa without the lantern. Bro, I'm losing my fucking mind. I swear to God, I'm losing my fucking mind. Losing my fucking mind. Boring!
Damn, this is just awful. I'm probably gonna end the video. I think I made this long enough.
I would not be surprised if the fucking tag team titles are on the line at WrestleMania and they do the Wyatts and the MFTs in a fucking ladder match with the titles and the lantern hanging above the ring. I might not be that far off on it. How does anybody in this company look at this and say this is good television? What are we paying these guys to write this show? Is there nothing else for you guys to give me outside of Uncle Howdy pins Solo Sikoa, he gets the lantern back and then he doesn't have it. Uncle Howdy pins Solo Sikoa, he gets the lantern back, he doesn't have the lantern. Bro, we got 5 more weeks of this shit. The least you could do is fucking tell me what the fucking importance of the lantern is and why they need the lantern back so much. How do they need the lantern back if they beat the fucking MFTs 2 weeks in a row and they pin Solo Sikoa 2 weeks in a row? How? What is USA Network paying for this show?
I don't know.
2.3 billion? Money well worth spent, huh? Here's our story about a shitty lantern you could buy at Home Depot for $34. We're gonna make this television for the next 7 months. Exactly, Billy. Just buy another fucking lantern. Go to Home Depot and buy yourself another lantern. Show him next week. I got my lantern back. You can't tell the difference. $1.4 billion, huh? 1.4 billion reasons to fucking change the channel. Moving on. Kiana James and Julia had some words for Tiffany Stratton ahead of the match tonight between Tiffany and Kiana James. Chad, I need some help here. I need some help here. Has Tiffany Stratton and Julia, have they had any real interactions on Friday night? I know Tiffany Stratton came back to the WWE after a couple of months layoff. She came in at the Royal Rumble number 30, right? She was in the chamber. Has she had any real interactions with Julia at all this year? I know she was in the chamber with Kiana, right? How did this Tiffany Stratton wants the United States Championship all of a sudden come about? When did this start? For what reason? Can anybody tell me? No. No? I'm not losing my mind, is what you're saying, right? I'm not losing my mind. We'll get to that in a second, because they did wrestle tonight, and I have a lot to say about that. Jade Cargill. Good old Jade Cargill, huh? The best thing about Jade is her theme music. Jade Cargill, she wrestled tonight. Surprisingly, she had to get dressed up to actually come to work tonight. She wrestled Meat Sheet. Wow, man, that's some new competition there for Jade Cargill. Meat Sheet. Oh man, I haven't seen this one before. The bell rang, and Meat Sheet on Jade followed. The chamber was on the 28th. We are 2 weeks removed from the Elimination Chamber. We're going into next week. Next Friday, Smackdown's going to be what? March 20th. At that point, there'll be less than a month before WrestleMania. Less than a month, Chad. Less than a month, Chad. So far in the build, the 2 weeks of build, and 2 weeks is more than enough for me to dissect what's going on here. Aleister Black walks in laughing with Zelina Vega.
Yeah, I might want to stop the video. Until next time, hit that like button, leave a comment, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching, thank you for all the support. I'm going to end the video, I made it long enough.
Black questioned whether chasing world championships was too much for Sami Zayn.